Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Mommy Loves to Read. I'm Olivia and thank you for joining me today. So guys, hey, how has everyone been? I know it's been a bit of time since I made a video. There's been a lot going on and I've just been trying to gather my thoughts and my feelings and all that kind of stuff. But today I am here to do kind of like a fun video. I was looking the other day and I saw I had a lot of books that kind of all had the same theme. So I thought it would be fun to share with you guys all these books that I have about this particular theme. And the theme that all my books have in common is this video is going to be about all the books I have read that have twins in them. So for those of you guys who don't know, I am a sucker for any kind of book that has something to do with twins. I am not a twin, but I am a mom of twins. I have two boys. They're twins, and they're gonna be 3 really soon. And then I have twin brothers who are 17. And then my husband is actually a twin. He has a twin sister, and my husband's twin sister has twins. I have 2 nieces. Well, I have 4 nieces, but she has 1 set of twins. And so I have been around twins all my life. I guess it was kind of destined for me to have them. And because of that, I pretty much, if the book is about twins, I generally will just pick it up and read it just because it's about twins. Like, I don't really need to know anything else about the book, just that it's about twins, and that interests me. So the first 2 books I'm going to talk about are books that I actually don't have. I don't own either one of these books. I borrowed them from my library a while back, and so I will insert a picture. So the first book that I read that I really love that has to do with twins is The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo. In this book, you are following 2 twins. They're a teenager, they're girl-boy twins, and it's following the journey of both of them as they're kind of just like coming into their own and coming of age and the struggles that they have in, growing into adulthood. So if you have not read anything by Elizabeth Acevedo, what are you doing? Stop what you're doing right now and go read one of her books, listen to her books. I've read 2 things by Elizabeth Acevedo. I read The Poet X, and I actually listened to that on audio. Her voice is just like amazing. If you ever have the opportunity to listen to a book that she does on audio, please listen to it. Like, you won't regret it. They're good when you read them, but when you listen to her books, they're so good. And then her other book that I read was With the Fire on High. I actually read that book, and once again, that book was really awesome. So if you ever have a chance to read anything by Elizabeth Acevedo, do it, especially The Poet X, because it has twins in it. Okay, the second book that I have read that has twins in it is Speaking of Summer. That book is really, really good also, and the cover on that book is just like amazing. I feel like that book, the cover alone, whether or not I knew it was about twins, I wanted to read it when I first saw the cover. But then when I found out it was about twins, I was like, oh yeah, I'm reading it. And so that book is about 2 twins. They are like 2 girl twins. And one of the twin sister one night walks on the roof of their apartment. They live in New York, and she disappears, and she is never to be seen again. And so it's following the journey of Summer, the twin that is left alive, and her journey in trying to find her sister and trying to get justice for her sister. And she kind of feels like no one cares that her sister is gone but her. And it deals with a lot of issues about race, about mental health. It deals with how being from a lower socioeconomic background can kind of play a part. Summer really feels like the reason most people don't care about her sister is because they don't have a lot of money and they are Black. And so that kind of plays into how she feels like she's really the only one who cares that her sister is lost and is looking for justice for her sister. So if you have a chance to read that book, please read it. That book was really good. I really loved it. It is kind of slow in certain spots, but stick with it because it does get good. And the ending is very interesting. If you have read Speaking of Summer, let me know down below what you thought about it or any of the books that I talk about today. And then we're going to go on to the books that I actually have. So, wow. Okay. 3 of these books in my stack I haven't read. So I'm just going to kind of tell you guys why I picked them. Obviously, they're about twins. And then what I think about them. So the first book, we'll start with the one that I have read. This book is called Black Sunday, and it is by Tola Rotimi Abraham. This book was really, really good. Once again, it is a book about twin sisters. You're following a group of siblings. There's 4 of them, but it mainly focuses on the twin sisters. They are in Nigeria, and they start off life living in the lap of luxury. They have money, is not an issue. They don't want for anything. They have this on the outside, like, beautiful life. Well, tragedy hits their family. Mom loses her job. Dad kind of loses his job too, and they get involved in this kind of mega church, and they wind up giving them all this money, and the church takes their money. The parents don't really know how to deal with this kind of like fall, I guess you would kind of say fall from grace, fall from their life, and both parents disappear. The siblings are dropped off on grandma's doorstep, who honestly doesn't really want them. Grandma is like, I'm done with that stage in my life. My kids are older. And then now you drop these 4 children on my doorstep. And it follows like their journey of just kind of how they dealt with that and how that situation laid the foundation for the rest of their life. This book is really, really good. I really loved it. If you have an opportunity to read this book, and once again, look at this cover. Like, the cover alone makes you want to read it. But then when I found out it was about twins, and I feel like this book was meant for me to read. I actually won this book on a giveaway. If you guys are looking for an amazing podcast, you guys, hands down, this is one of my favorite podcasts. And besides reading books, my second favorite thing to do is listen to podcasts. Like, I love them. And there's a podcast that I love. It's called DEMBLACKMAMAS. I'll link it down below. If you're looking for a great podcast, like every time I have listened to episodes of this podcast, I have cried. I have laughed. I have just felt joy. Like, this podcast is just like amazing. So if you're looking for a really great podcast, please check it out. And like I said, I will link that down below. It was really good. The next book that I have is The Vanishing Half. Okay, this book is about 2 sisters. They are twins, and they are both African American. They grow up and they leave their town, and one decides to live life. They're white passing, I guess, is from what I've read and heard, and one decides to live her life as a white woman, one does not, and something happens and they have to come back together, if I'm not mistaken. And it's following that journey of just how it says, weaving together multiple strands and generations from the deep south to California from the 1950s to the 1990s, The Vanishing Half is at once a riveting emotional family story and a brilliant exploration of race, gender, and identity, and the lasting influence of the past as it shapes a person's desire and expectations. So I'm really excited to read this book. I have heard nothing but good things about this book. I'm really excited. Hopefully I'll be able to get to it soon. And once again, like, do you see this cover? I feel like every book that I read about twins, not only is it about twins, but they have these amazing covers. This is another one, like, I would have gotten this book on the cover alone. Like, when you look at it, you're just like, I don't even know what this book is about, but I want to know because of the cover. So I'm really excited to get into this book really soon. The next book that I have, which if you watch my birthday haul, you saw me talk about this book, which is this. Let's just take a moment and look at this beautiful cover. Like, I feel like this would be a really cool cover to, what is the word? Not reinvent. Is that the word? No, word I'm looking for. This would be a really good cover to try to do. I don't know what the word is I'm looking for today. But this cover is just like amazing. Obviously, it's about 2 twin sisters. And I think this book, I know this book is going to be amazing. Once again, like I said, I listen to podcasts. There's a particular podcast that I listen to, and the author of this book is actually the host of the podcast. So when this book first came out last year, she played the first 3 chapters. I don't know if it's 2 or 3. I think it's the first 3. If not, it's definitely the first 2 chapters of the audio of this book. And like listening to it, the person that they have narrate this book, oh, it's really, really amazing. And I know I'm going to have so much fun reading this book. One of the things that I love, because I have flipped through this book, Daughters of Neri, this book is set in Africa, in Nigeria, if I'm not mistaken. And so a lot of times when you read books like these, they have words and things that it's not in English, it's in different languages. And I like in the back of this book, they have a whole section, it's kind of like a dictionary, and it tells you, it breaks down like phonetically how to say the word, and then it tells you like what that means. And so I really, really like that, because I feel like sometimes when you're reading, you don't always get the power of the book because you don't really even know what the word is or what it means. And so I love that. So if you have the opportunity to read this book or listen to this book, do it. I mean, like I said, this cover alone is just like, whew, it's so beautiful. I love it. So this is Daughters of Nuri, and it's by Renee K. Amayo. And like I said, I know this one is going to be good. I plan on starting on this book really, really soon, and I'm excited. The next book, and I think this is my final book, is this book by Edwidge Danticat. So this is called Untwine, and this is once again a novel about twins. It's about, I'm going to read to you what the little back cover says because I thought it was like awesome, and it was good. It says, Isabel and I were holding hands just as we had been holding hands on the day we were born. The doctor told our parents that we would need to untwine our tiny fingers to separate us. We were born holding hands, and now we wouldn't let go. Ooh, so that makes you be like, what is this book about? I'm really, really excited to read this book. I honestly don't know much about it. I was looking for some books to read for the Read Caribbean month, and this is by Edwidge Danticat, so that's kind of why I chose it, because it falls in line with the Read Caribbean. But then when I saw it was about twins, I was like, okay, I have to get it. Like, I really don't even know what it's about, but this author writes amazing books. I read books by this author before, and then because it's about twins, that was the only other stamp of approval I needed for me to put that in my cart. So I did, and I got it, and I'm so excited to read this book. And once again, I really just love this cover. Like, the cover is really, it's really good. And so I think this is going to be a really good book, and I can't wait to share with you guys what I think about this book. So yes, thank you guys today for joining me. Those are all the books that I have that are about twins. I know these will not be the last books that I read about twins, because I know there's going to be many, many more. If any of you guys have read any of these books, comment down below and let me know what you think about them. Maybe we can start a conversation about the ones you like and maybe the ones you didn't like, all that good stuff. And then if you have any kind of little quirky things that you do, like I said, generally, if a book is about twins, I just get it and I read it. I don't really even need to know more. Oh, it's about twins? Okay, give it to me. It's going to be good. And so I think that's kind of something that's kind of fun and quirky about me. So I hope you guys got to learn a little bit more about me today, and I hope everyone is having a good day. I just want to remind everyone, I know, child, there's so much going on in the world, and we all deal with things very differently. Some of us are very vocal and some of us are very silent, but I just want everyone to remember, do your part and do what you can. Don't look to the left and don't look to the right. Like, focus on you and what you can do. Even if what you're doing you don't feel like it's really big or is as important as what someone else is doing, I feel like we have to remember that each of us play a part. And when you think of like a puzzle, like if you're doing a jigsaw puzzle and there's 100 pieces, you might not think that one little piece is really important. But when you're trying to put that whole puzzle together, if you lose that one little piece, it becomes very important, right? Because you're like, man, I can't finish this project because I'm missing that one little piece. And so if we kind of think of ourselves all as like a piece of a puzzle, like me, Olivia, I'm a piece of that puzzle and I fit where I need to fit. So like, I can't try to be the piece over here because that's not my place, but I'm definitely that piece right there at the corner, and that's where I need to be, and I play a part in things. So I just want to encourage everyone. Lately, I've been trying to the thing I've been trying to remind myself is to find joy. I feel like we have to realize our joy is just as much activism as anything else, because when we have joy in the midst of everything that's going on, it does something. It does something to yourself. It does something to the people around you. Have you ever been around someone who just has joy? You could be having a terrible day, just found out terrible news, and you get around that person and for some reason you just feel happy. You just feel excited. Like their joy is like rubbing off on you and you can't not be joyful. And I think that's one of the things that I have been trying to remind myself, like, find joy. Do what you need to do to find joy in your day. If that's having your favorite coffee creamer on deck, that's definitely me. Like, as soon as I run out of my favorite coffee creamer, I'm like, oh, let me go to HEB. I need to get it, put it in my cart. If that's reading a book, maybe even right now, reading has been one of those things that's been a little hard for you. I know for me, I was struggling a little bit from reading. I was reading All About Love by Bell Hooks and crapola. Why can't I think of the book? The book by Between the World and Me by Tanisha Coates. And those books are both amazing and I love them. But I really had to take a break from them because I needed to read some different books that were very, very lighthearted and just kind of brought me joy and got me into a joyful headspace. So if that's what you need to do, girl, do your thing. I just want to, like I said, encourage everyone that's watching this video, don't forget to find your joy. We do need to be activists, and we need to support those around us and call people out and do all those things. But in the midst of that, please don't forget your joy, because your joy, like I said, is just as much activism as everything else, because they don't want us to be joyful and they don't want us to always be happy. But when we can do that in the midst of everything that's going on, it's like, man, it kind of sets the stage for everything else, you know? And so, like I said, I hope everyone has a wonderful video. Do you hear that? I hope everyone has a wonderful day. Thank you for watching my video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Turn on your notification bell so you can be notified when I upload new videos. And have a great day. Bye.